seconds, and then the weight is by feel. So if you want to build the weight, you can do that. If you want to make the same weight, you can. Whatever percentage you are able to maintain good form and go touch and go, or unbroken for all 8 reps. Right, we're not bouncing the weight into the ground, so don't use a heavy weight that you have to try to get that rebound from the ground just to try to link them together. Right, it should just be a tap, stand up. Right, so we'll get to that again after we talk about the setup on the deadlift. And we're going to talk about a top-down approach, and we're going to do that for 2 reasons. First one's going to be most injuries happen from here down to the ground. So what tends to happen is you get past this point, the knees bend too much. We're behind the weight, and then you hear that big thud with the weight, or you hear all of that, whatever the word I'm looking for is. But you guys know that sound. You can tell when somebody doesn't have tension and they kind of collapse at the bottom. The next one's going to be where the hips stay too high and we turn it into a straight leg deadlift. Both of those things are putting the top of your shoulder blade not in line with this bar, which is where our leverage point is. Top of your shoulder blade over the bar, that is the leverage point where your muscles will work in symmetry. If you are outside of that, your low back is going to start to compensate. That's where it overworks, okay? So we're good with that? So if we go from the top, oh, I never got my second point. The second reason that we're going to do this, I like to start from the top, but let's say I don't have a bar, I'm going to start here. Starting from here, I think about having that bar in my hand, a pretend bar, hinge, grab the bar, I'm in my setup. I don't have to wiggle around, I don't have to guess where I need to be. I'm there, right? So that's our second reason. Now let's talk about how we get there. So from here, my feet are hip width, screw my feet in the ground, squeeze the glutes, shoulders down and back. These are all just ways to get tension through your whole body, right? If we have that, all we have to do is hinge. Now it looks like I'm way in front of the bar, but technically top of my shoulder blade is right over the bar. Sorry if you can't see me, so maybe that. But top of the shoulder blade is right over the bar, right? Now to get to the ground, I have to bend my knees, but I can't bend them too much. And if I don't bend them enough, I won't be over. But I just bend them enough to stay over the weight. Does that make sense? You know, I just gave you a lot. But. All right, so with that said, we're gonna grab our bar, empty barbell, bring it to your hip. We're just gonna work some warm-up reps from the top. Well, let's do this together. So again, make sure your feet are hip width. Toes are forward, and we're screwing our feet into the ground. You can see my knees are neutral. When I screw my feet in the ground, my knees point to the angle or to the sides. All right, let's make sure we're doing that first. Squeeze the glutes, shoulders down and back. Now from here, we're going to hinge, get to the knee and stop. Make sure that your knees are back over the ankles, your toes are down. And then from here, we bend the knees, let's stop at mid-shin, and go ahead and stand up. See, all you got to do is stand up from the top. If we approach our bar that way when it's on the ground, all you have to think about is standing up, pushing through the ground. So go ahead and do 2 more on your own. Let's add some light weight, and we're going to take that same approach. We're going to walk on